Good Monday evening, everyone. On this Monday, January 10th, 2022, I'm meteorologist Robert Smith at Garden State Weather on YouTube and Garden State WX on Twitter. Although I haven't been on Twitter the last couple of days, I've been focusing on a lot of other personal things here. We discussed this morning in the video that I wasn't really seeing major winter storms for the eastern United States. Snow flying in the air, snowflakes, downwind the lakes into upper New England or whatever. Yeah, but we're not looking at a pattern here that supports snowstorms yet. And when I look at the 500 millibar pattern, this looks pretty good from this morning. Okay, off this morning's European model guidance run. This is a positive PNA here, but it gets flattened out by all of these upper lows all over the place here. And our polar vortex is doing a number too on us. So when we get to Thursday and Friday, it's cold relative to normal around here. Even into the central and southeastern United States, it's cold by average here. But the ridge here gets flattened, built up over here by, again, this wobbly, ever-turning turnstile of short waves here in Canada. That's where everything gets interesting. And then by the time we get to Saturday, 500 millibar pattern again shows a positively tilted trough, ridging developing here, undercut by an upper low here, and more storminess here, more cut-off lows in this branch here. So this doesn't really look good, because what happens here is that the duplexity of this ridging here, which is a negative NAO here over Greenland, east-based, is still supporting these upper lobes of closed-off lows here in Canada, and that's supporting a blocking mechanism for any of this to get further south, because the Pacific is not right. It's not. And there's so many disturbances still coming into this flow that nothing can amplify and stay and develop and cut off here in the eastern United States. So you wind up with a very progressive pattern with short waves and cold fronts moving through and storm systems that are promising, but they are not, because they just get off the East Coast and away they go. Here's another one for Monday afternoon, and it's getting cold around here again next week, but that is fleeting too, because there's other short waves and this strong Pacific jet undercutting this blocking here, trying to break it down, and the polar vortex and all the closed lows inside and underneath the polar vortex remain in Canada, and the flow just is so fast that nothing can amplify here through January 20th. Now, I'm not saying that winter isn't going to be here. I'm just saying that, if you want a big coastal storm here, I'm not seeing it. And this pattern doesn't produce it either. Another thing that stands out to me here is the European model guidance's anomalies at 500 millibars, the upstairs of the atmosphere, and there goes everything. So, you get these storms dropping down with troughs in the eastern United States, but cutting off out into the ocean, like this one on Thursday and Friday. And then the follow-up here on Saturday and Sunday. And this doesn't look good to me either, because of all of these short waves and the PNA being positive or nearly positive to neutral is in the wrong position. You need the ridge axis over here to get an East Coast snowstorm, and the whole synchronization of everything is off. It's just off. Doesn't mean cold air isn't going to come in, and cold fronts and troughs and snow showers and things like that. But if you really want, it's going to get cold around here late next week. But that's fleeting too, because I'm not seeing a storm signal here And the pattern is just way, way, way too progressive with too much going on. Way too much going on. Strong ridging here, negative NAO. This is a positive PNA here. This is all wrong, actually. It's cold, but it's still all wrong. Again, looking at the 500 millibar cyclonic relative vorticity, or PVA, whether it's PVA or NVA, negative vorticity advection. When there's nothing around, it's NVA. Like in the whites here, that's NVA. When it is in the colors here, that is PVA, positive vorticity advection. That means the air is rising. So there goes the snow and the snow showers off the coast tomorrow morning. Here comes the next short wave into the flow on Wednesday and Thursday. And again, everything is separated here. So, you know, this is all strung out. This is definitely strung out here. And that's not going to produce much of anything. And when it does, it is a disconnect and it's off the coast. But on the heels, under this is positive PVA coming in for Saturday night and Sunday. But look what happens here. There's a cutoff low here in the desert southwest, or off the west coast of California here. Look at all of this energy coming in from the Aleutian Islands into Alaska and into the west coast. And, you know, everything under this block, even though this block is showing signs of fortifying itself here, east-based, negative NAO here, it's a big problem because the PVA is all strung out. And you can't get a snowstorm here with this kind of activity going on. There's too many short waves in play here, too many vortices in play here, and by the time we get into Tuesday of next week, the same thing. It's going to get cold around here, but the PVA is strung out. And then the flow just relaxes again. And then we get out to 10 days. Looks like a little something here. You got somewhat of a PNA signature here over Montana and Idaho, and then you got these two separate jet structures here, one in the polar branch, one in the subtropical branch, but what happens after that, we don't know. But I'm telling you now, until this point, I'm not seeing anything major. Another example is using the Europeans' total snowfall in inches using a 10-to-1 ratio. Obviously, that is going to vary by so many factors here. Where the snow is, or forecasted to be, and then there goes these systems coming in to the upper Midwest, the northern plains here, even Virginia and the Carolinas here, but where's the snow here, you're asking? And that's because I just explained to you that when these dive down, we're going to be in a dry slot, and predominantly so. I mean, when you look at this over a 10-day period here, 240 hours out to January 20th, you are looking at a snow hole here. Yep. Honing in on the Northeast right now, when we get to the precipitation type and all of that, you can see we're in a snow hole. You know, you got lake effect snows coming down, and that wind shift changes with each frontal passage and shortwave coming through. And by the time you get to Friday, again, nothing. By the time you get to the weekend, well, it was snowing just to your south and west, but won't be here. Nope. And out that goes. Snow hole here. And here comes more northern stream energy in the polar branch. Snow showers, shortwave coming through, dries out, system develops off the shore. Everything cuts down to the north and west, and it's just shortwave after shortwave in southern New England or whatever. And so, when you really want to talk about snowfall over the next 10 days, look at this. This is paltry, actually, and dead here. Dead. I will, of course, as your meteorologist, continue to follow along with all of the evolutions of the QBO, the MJO, the NAO, all the teleconnections. And by the way, we didn't do that. Let's do this morning's run. Let's go down to 50 millibars here. Anomalies for the stratosphere. And this is the reason why this is happening, is because, yeah, there's a split, but the split is higher on the other side of the pole rather than it is here. So this is not completely a good signal. It hasn't shown up in the model guidance, and it hasn't shown up in the observations either. So that's probably the reason why a lot of this is occurring, because it's all screwed up. Focusing on the Northeast European model guidance, this is 6-hour snowfall here. Well, I mean, it's been snowing in places, but not here. And it's not going to under this. And here comes that clipper for Saturday coming down the plains, the Great Lakes area. This is where the snow is going to be. And by the time that reaches the Ohio River Valley, the Tennessee River Valley area into the Virginias here, it's going to produce more snow than it's going to produce here. And then that waxes and wanes. I don't really see anything coming down the pike here that looks impressive to me, given the pattern that we're in. Of course, I'm going to continue to follow all of this and keep you all updated on that. For Garden State Weather, I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. Remember, it's Garden State Weather on YouTube and Garden State WX on Twitter. Have a pleasant evening.